Alright. Hello everybody, Kevin here with Cassidy from Phycoterra. We're looking at some of our soybeans. I'm thinking they were planted 22nd of April, I believe. Had a lot of rain. Now this is kind of our Donnie Bester plot, I guess you'd call it. We planted these 3 inches deep. We caught some rains before they got emerged, and you know, we planted them at 85,000, and we just did a couple stand counts, and we got a 63,000 and a 66,000, I think, stand, which is for the field and the yield potential. That's probably about where we want to be at, somewhere between 60 and 65,000 stand. This was actually Sean's no-till field, so we know we got high yield potential. We pulled a 391 and a 399 off of it, so fertility is really high, really good. You know, you can kind of see how uneven they are. My theory on the 3-inch planting beans now, after seeing them, you really need about 10 days with no rain. Plant them that deep, just because of the crusting, which it's been, I don't know, almost a week now that we've not had a rain, and you kind of still see, you know, a little bit of crust. Not bad. You know, we have low magnesium numbers in our soil, so even we crusted on this. So you guys with the high mag may have some issues getting the beans out at that depth, but you know, we didn't plant them all at 3 inches. We planted on another farm, we planted 2.5, and then we went to our normal, what we used to do, plant them 1 inch, and yes, the 1 inch do look perfect, photocopied, but we are seeing significant differences already in the 1 inch to the 3 inch. The 3 inch beans are naturally shorter, and it looks like they are starting to branch down lower more than the 1 inch, and being this thin, I don't think it's quite as critical to be, at least I'm hoping it's not as critical to have a perfect stand, because there'll be more room at 60 to 65,000 pop. So yeah, it's not a what we would be proud of, a perfect stand, but it's not bad. Fairly even here. But anyway, our in-furrow program this year, you know, we used a regular Phycoterra. We're trying to feed the biology longer. You know, I'm not by any means dissing on sugars, but you know, sugars have been out for a long time, and just with technology, there's bound to be better things coming out that could feed longer. And you know, we still run a lot of sugar in our in-furrow program and our 2x2 program, but we're looking for that next evolution to feed longer than what the sugar does. You know, because it's for what we understand on the sugar, we're not maximizing our biology through the growth cycles, because you know, the in-furrow, the 2x2, and then it's, you know, 3 weeks till we wide drop, and then, you know, another 2 or 3 weeks until we hit our second wide drop, and then we're basically done with the feeding the biology with what tools we have, and it looks like we're probably getting, what would you say, 3 to 4 times longer? Yep. With the Phycoterra on the feeding. So now this field, other than we've not run, there's a new product, FX. This field here may get this. I haven't decided yet, because this is going to be one of our fields we really try to push on soybeans. So this may get it. You know, we were originally talking about just doing it on corn, but you know, if the potential looks really good, we will go ahead and apply this product to this field here. Now what?
You want to tell them about?
Tell them what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so the FX product is the same concept as a soil product, but flip it to the leaves.
So we're still focusing on main mode of action is just feeding the biology, but now from the rhizosphere around the roots to the phyllosphere, which is the leaf surface. So we're targeting this with your fungicide application. So corn, you're going to be that R1 to R3, soybean that R3 to R5-ish time frame. So the idea there is, I mean, we know growing seasons can, from just maturity, you know, the cuticle layer changes on that leaf, which makes those microbes hard to survive, but then also environmental changes. High UV, high heat stress, change in moisture, all of that changes how your microbes thrive. So especially when we get later in the season, it's even tougher conditions. So that's the idea of, if we can put a food source out when there's really no food source for your phyllosphere microbes, we can kick those off, which is going to get you better nutrient acquisition, resist that desiccation, hold that water better in the plant, but then also overall plant health. So we've seen great synergies with the fungicide application at late season and really taken that to yield. So with corn specifically, we've seen, you know, helping maintain that weight on the eater, mainly during that time period. So leading into higher yields and ROIs at the end of the season.
Yeah. And that's what we're looking for. You know, we just, seems like on the corn and soybeans, we run out of gas no matter what we do. We know it's not a fertility thing. It's a, you know, our biology is dying off enough, I believe, that we're losing some on the back end.
And it's interesting because there's studies now telling us that the leaf microbes can actually communicate with the roots. So they're sending signals and letting them know, hey, this is what we need. We've seen that with nitrogen, carbon, and phosphorus. Like, we're still learning what they do, but we know those main three are being triggered from the leaves down to the roots of the season. So that's the idea, is hopefully we can carry that through that time period where we know it's usually high stress.
So what kind of rates and timing would you call on this on soybeans and or corn?
So it's low rates, use rate, you're talking 8 ounces an acre, and then you pair that with your fungicide application. So whatever you're going out with, soybean usually R3, R5-ish time frame, corn R1 to R3 time frame.
Can you do it more than once, or is that necessary?
I mean, that late stage, there's really not another shot you can really get at that point. But
so like us, we kind of change our, you know, I'm kind of different on the soybean thing, on the fungicides. I don't like waiting till R3. You know, I think as soon as you go into reproductive, I think you should be putting a fungicide, in my opinion, insecticide. So could a guy do it at R1 and then come back at R5?
Yeah, I mean, we could go earlier. The main thing is just, you know, with corn going earlier, like VT, you get into the tassel and pollination where we don't want to mess that application up. So with soybean, it's a little easier. Yeah, in terms of, you know, the reproductive system. So we could go earlier. Does it need 2 shots? I think that's just looking at the crop and where we're at that time of the season. Going out, looking at that application and seeing, do we need to do another one?
And this is called Phycoterra
FX.
FX.
Yep.
Foliar.
Correct.
Okay.